Welcome, welcome, one and all. My name is Carrie Bates. I work for the Ipswich Recreation and Culture Department, and I am pleased that you are all here to enjoy poetry and music. We're going to shake it up a little bit this evening, and we're going to have our poet take to the platform straight off the bat. But before I invite my friends, the Zagarellas, to introduce their poet friend, I'm going to thank our sponsors, and 3 cheers for Greater Cape Ann Chamber of Commerce, who have been such great supporters, collaborators, partners, and they are here this evening in the person of Olivia, who is our ambassador from Greater Cape Ann Chamber of Commerce for the Ipswich business community. So check them out, find out the many ways in which they serve our small business neighbors here in Ipswich. Also, Jay Barrett, woohoo! Faithful to the season series. They've brought water in the past and dog bowls and all kinds of wonderful things. They've got some great information, so check them out too. Also tonight, we've got the Ipswich Utilities Department. And they've got some wonderful giveaways, and there's tons of great information that could save you money and the world at the same time. So anyway, without further ado, I'd also like to mention some of the other really important sponsors who help us present Downtown Tuesdays, who aren't here this evening, and they would be Bank Gloucester, Brookline Bank, the law offices of Meredith A. Fine, Morris Heating and Air Conditioning, and Archibald Hardware. So we're super grateful for our business sponsors. Thank you. Also, we'd like to thank EBSCO because it is on their land on which we will dance and enjoy the music tonight. And also the Massachusetts Department of Transportation. Seems like a not fit, but it was a wonderful, generous shared spaces grant that they gave to Ipswich that helped us to build the truss and the stage. So, without further ado, I'm going to invite up Carrie and Neil Zagarella, and they'll take it from here. Thanks.
Hi, tonight's poet, Richard Martin, we've known for at least 30 years. Carrie and I, when we first started writing poetry, we used to go into Cambridge every Monday night to Stone Soup, and there would be a reading every Monday night, and there would always be a featured reader. So we saw 52 of these every year for at least 10 years. So if we're going to say 500 of those. And not that many are extremely memorable, but one stood out to me and Carrie, and that was Dick Martin's reading. First time we'd ever seen him read, he did this feature, and the whole place just stopped, paid attention, and went berserk. Now, he got a National Endowment of the Arts Fellowship. He's an excellent writer for the page, but you don't get the full Richard Martin experience unless you hear him read, because the energy that he brings to the words and that he puts out, well, you're all going to see it. It's a thrill to me. Every time I'm just in Dick's presence, just to hang around with him, it's a thrill to me because he's such an alive, energetic, super guy. But it's great that we can see him read tonight. Now, I'm going to just turn the mic over for a couple minutes to Carrie, because she's got an announcement to make, and then you're going to get to hear Dick Martin yourselves.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Neil. Everything he said. And we're having a house concert on Linebrook Road where we live. We've done it a few times, where Dick will be sharing excerpts from his novel. And if you would like to go, and come to our house and experience this. Space is limited, it really is. But I have a little QR code that I'll give you a bookmark, and you can scan it and just like email us and let us know if you want to reserve a spot for this wonderful evening. And I would like you to put your hands together and welcome our good friend, excellent poet extraordinaire, Richard Martin.
Thank you very much, Neil and Carrie. It's quite an introduction. Unfortunately, I've aged since then, just a little bit. That was 30 years ago. So I'll try my best.
That's it. Yep.
I want to thank the band for letting me come up here first because I can't drive back to Boston because my eye doctor said I'm surprised you can see anything with those cataracts. So I have to get back before it gets too dark. So this kind of goes along with that idea. This is called In Just a Few Minutes. I could start with a symbol of crows, neighborhood ones, not those from the pond or the highway. As a sweater of black wings I imagine wearing during a season of lamps, intense blue ones, almost sky, I want to fly. Or perhaps just the other day in search of a transition, a connection for the gaps in my mind, those holes, you know, that live there in the mind as placeholders for that bit of metaphysics required of everyone when things, the real things of our lives, make sudden nonsense, laugh at us, get wavy with their own molecular uncertainty, whistle to us, at us, like they were trying to get our attention about their own loneliness in the cosmology of being here in this setting called world. I was in Burger King, of all places, as if pop food had the right, was entitled to be part of the line, occupy it with weight and foolishness, a line now more concerned with the image of rainforest, the canopy of talk, bird lingo, symbology again, and a lingering rain, a rain that started with intense purpose and intention, pouring down, thundering, until the Amazon of the heart swept into such a bend of awareness that I woke up when handed a senior coffee, a little cup of joe, no more than 6 fluent ounces, by a too young employer who read in the age my eyes, my thoughts, my face, and made sure not to charge me and be responsible for getting me wired on something I could no longer handle in the sputtering sound of raindrops. This one is for Neil and Carrie, and I want to thank Carrie Bates too. We were talking about this a little bit. It's about writing poetry and just writing, you know, and I didn't go to school for it or anything like that. I just enjoy it and I entertain myself. So if people like it, that's good, and I thank you for that. If you don't get mad at me. This is called In the Bag. The big bag of words landed inside his head like an alien spaceship. So many lights and with such great commotion, he concentrated on the moment when he would use the words to reinforce his claim that language was an inexhaustible playhouse of sounds and didn't mind a single bit those who warred about forms and constraints or wild freedom in order to compose a thought, an emotion, a world. Consider any of the words in the bag, their histories, proclivities, possible arrangement in space. Take rinse cycle, for example. For him, it meant to dance down the street in the middle of a thunderstorm, ignoring the horns of cars or cries from passengers, to expunge himself from the galloping raindrops and return at once to his washing machine or dishwasher to await the correct sequence of buzzers to finish his assigned household chores. He was home, after all, free from the workplace due to a glitch in the federal computer that inappropriately labeled him an anarchist spirit and prone to long periods of morose doubt about the acuity of his intellect when it came to summing numbers, or how about the word trellis, a word that literally poked up and through the bag for him, and he will argue with you deep into the night, was for a vine of syllables to wind its way, silly and beautiful as a river of roses, the one that looked so good clinging to our own farmhouse before strong winds from the temperamental sea blew in. This one is called Predicament, which I often find myself in. I'm starting to forget things. I control nothing. This morning the past walked by my bedroom window on stilts. When I close my eyes, the sky is green. I've written to Van Gogh's ghost about crows in my yard. I'm a fan of color. My head aches like a symphony orchestra in a tin cup. Bronze butterflies flutter in a wind of wayward kisses. Construction crews dig for a way out in the streets. There is too much news. Time faints on a bank of magenta clouds. I might be part of a text missing a pair of red shoelaces. I heard a newly discovered planet has volcanic hiccups. Forgive me for not following rules for building a clay replica of the ego, hailing a cab. I'm lost in a tailspin of beauty. Who is the past? Now the wine and machines and the flowerless air. It is a fall of dying leaves, and I reside in the mind of what escapes me. How many minutes is that? One more? Okay. Well, you know, when you're 73 years old, you accrue a lot of credits along the way. I was a principal in Boston, and I've done a lot of things in my life. And I want to read, you know, kind of resume I would show people that would get me a job. So I'll end with this one. It's called Credits. Former NEA winner, former Mr. America, former professional baseball player, former violin virtuoso, former Miss America, former talent scout, former Boy Scout, former informant for the CIA, former Girl Scout, former Pulitzer Prize winner, former race car driver, former national panelist on national panels, former banker, former criminal, former lives. Presently, feeling quite tired and apathetic about things, no longer interested in the arcane or mysterious, looking out for number one is done, willing to show an aptitude for not working while gamesily employed. Some elements, starting with the toes, they're hot on occasion, the rest of my body fit and unfiddle. Former man about town, former confidant to the birds and bees, former macho man, former woman about town, former jack in the box, former pop goes the weasel, former seance manager for the rich and famous, former reformer, former simpler form, trilobite, hazelnut, paramecium, photon, former man of the year, former loser, former gay, former women of the year, former address, former distress. Thank you very much.
Great job, Richard. Oh, thank you. That was awesome. Thank you. You too. Thank you.
Hey everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight. It's beautiful out here. This is awesome. Let's give it up more time for Richard. That was incredible. That was awesome. Thanks for coming all the way down here to say some beautiful poems. Yeah, we're Surnames. This is our first show in over 2 years. We're really excited to be here. We're gonna play a little mix of covers and originals. Yeah, enjoy. Thanks again. You said we'll always be in touch. It can't stop our spirits and the ground can't hold our limits. But I'm not sure I'm better luck. Boom, da, da, my gun. And the ground gave better clues. And stand in our own backyard, hold up the collars on our coat. Is this really what we call home? And mighty high up on that plain, rippled clouds haze my view, wishing the ground gave better clues, and count the hours on that train, fighting windmills while I stare, the chasm's feeling pretty barren. Oh, is that what we saw? Standing in our own backyard, pulled up the collars on our coats. Is this really what we call home? And 1v1, 2x2, men hung by the creek, and diamonds made of dirt. Collect the sticks and piled up the sand. We've all smiled at more than money in it. Oh, is that what we saw? And in our own backyard, pulled up the collars on our coat. Is this really what we call home? 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 Hey, everybody. Sunlight, days by and watch the summer swell. Hold tight, don't cry yet, drop off farewells. And hot days give way to more space and colder nights. And blue stay, they won't fade despite a call for white. And hold me close, I won't say no to a few minutes alone just before you go. Hold me close, I won't say no. Can partners forge ahead if they both live in the unknown? Twisted verbs, jumbled every verse, shifting towards pastures green of sorts. Distorting pattern can't stay the course. Called it love, but was it only words? And called it love, yeah. And called it love, yeah. Called it love, and count up by your bed, look and only see the trees. Don't rush to say what you think you mean. And hold me close, I won't say no to a few minutes alone just before you go. Hold me close, I won't say no, yeah. Partners for tortured headed fables, living the unknown. Twisted verbs jumbled every verse, shifting towards pastures green of sorts. This golden pattern can't stay the course. Called it love, or was it only words? Oh, twisted verbs jumbled every verse, shifting towards pastures green of sorts. This golden pattern can't stay the course. Called it love, or was it only words? And called it love, and called it love, and called it love, and called it Hey, thank you. Those two were originals. One of them's on Spotify, the first one, on an EP called Live from Bangasong. That's where I do my recording, is at Bangasong Studios in Gloucester. They're awesome. And then that one I just played is brand new. First time ever. For you. Just for you, Matt. This next one is, it's an older one, but I just recorded it in the last year, and it is coming out in a couple months. It is called Kisses Were For You. I wasn't trying to get down on one knee. Oh, wasn't this along the lines of I like your company? Someone warm to be next and a reason to check my text in the morning. Well, I guess the feelings collect to a straight jacket of yearning, where flames burn bright as stone their way out. Ain't no one to listen, there ain't no reason to shout. Spring rains washed our ashes clean. Guess love just ain't what it seems. Take me back to that warmer December, when I got your time for free, yeah. And I wanna know if your heart still remembers when your kisses were for me. Oh, when your kisses were for me. Oh, when your kisses were for me. Like it or not, got some fears that I couldn't tame. When I read the wall, they were some words I couldn't understand. And tried to resist the strange smiles you twist, were more than they seem. Masochist, I just missed the risk of wearing my heart on my sleeve. Flames burn bright as stone their way out. If there ain't no one to listen, there ain't no reason to shout. Spring rains washed our ashes clean, yeah. I guess love just ain't what it seems. Take me back to that warmer December, when I got your time for free, yeah. And I wanna know if your heart still remembers when your kisses were for me. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, y'all. We're going to do a quick cover, or a couple covers for you. This is one of my favorite covers. I've been playing this for a long time. It's an old Bruce Springsteen song, but its most popular version is probably with the band. It's called Atlantic City.
Chicken man in Philly last night, and they blew up his house too. And on the boardwalk they're getting ready for a fight, gonna see what them record boys can do. And where there's trouble busting in from out of state, and the DA can't get no relief, gonna be a rumble out on that promenade, and the gambling commission's hanging on by the skin of his teeth. Well, everything dies, baby, that's a fact. Maybe everything that dies someday comes back. Put your makeup on, fix your hair up pretty, and meet me tonight in Atlantic City. Job, put my money away, but I got debts no honest man can pay. So I drew what I had from that Central Trust and bought us 2 tickets on that Coast City bus. Well, everything dies, baby, that's a fact. Maybe everything that dies someday comes back. Put your makeup on, fix your hair up pretty, meet me tonight in Atlantic City. Yeah. Job, but it's hard to find. There's winners and there's losers, and I'm south of that line, and I'm tired of coming out on that losing end. I met this guy last night, gonna do a little favor for him. Well, everything dies, baby, that's a fact. Maybe everything that dies someday comes back. Put your makeup on, fix your hair up pretty, yeah. Meet me tonight in Atlantic City. Tonight in Atlantic City, and meet me tonight in Atlantic City. Meet me tonight in Atlantic City.
Thank you, thank you.
I know, me too.
Last night I got loaded on a bottle of gin, on a bottle of gin. And last night I got loaded on a bottle of gin, on a bottle of gin. But it feels alright, it feels alright, yeah, it feels alright, yeah, it feels alright. before last, I got loaded on a bottle of whiskey, on a bottle of whiskey. The night before last, I got loaded on a bottle of whiskey, on a bottle of whiskey. But if he's alright, if he's alright, yeah, and if he's alright, yeah, if he's alright. And tonight, I'ma get loaded on a bottle of beer, and on a bottle of beer. And tonight, I'ma get loaded on a bottle of beer, and on a bottle of beer. But if he's alright, if he's alright, yeah, and if he's alright, yeah, if he's alright.
Thank you. Go from your teeth, man. And how'd you think that you could keep it? Sunrise every weekend. Not in your chest starts creeping. That's not much to do. Ain't got the tools, and you better have the know-how. You can get stuck with it, that's we all. Where's your roast and take the lightest score? Where's your roast and take the lightest score? Where's your roast and take the lightest score? Some clothes on a Monday, hoping that ticket wasn't one way. And 40 hours leave me somewhere. The 20 extra still don't pay. There's not much to do now. Ain't got the tools, and you better have the know-how. Jean jacket stuff with the that's we all. Where's your roast and take a lightest score? And there's not much to do. On my paycheck on some sushi and some cheap beer. 200,000 just to read some prose. Where's your roast and take a lightest score? Where's your roast and take a lightest score? Kitchen panties, they beat us down. Just in the past, and said we should work nice. Be from your grave hasn't changed your whole life. All that you see is yours and your right. everybody. We're gonna change the style up a little bit, slow it down just a touch. Shift into 3/4 instead of 4/4. For all you musicians out there.
Could I just have stayed? Simple slip of the brain. Why not just refrain? White lies and hindsight all taste the same. And sink fast and all the boulders rolling low. New day rests at our toes. And sink fast and hold our gold in our soul. Can't stop what gravity won't hold. Oh, wearing gloves just a touch, so we can hold the truth and not feel it cut. Single life to claim, but from the mountain top they probably all look the same. They sink fast and all the boulders rolling low. No day rests at our toes. They sink fast and all our gold in our soul. Can't stop but gravity won't hold. Oh, how'd you do? What'd you say? We smile now. Oh, sing fast and all the boulders rolling low. New day rests at our toes. Sing fast and all our gold in our soul. Can't stop where gravity won't hold. I can't stop what gravity won't hold. I can't stop what gravity won't hold.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Thanks. That last one was written about or inspired by one of my favorite myths. Anyone know which one? Which one? Yeah, it was Sisyphus. You got it. It was obvious. This is fun now. I can't really see anyone. These lights are real bright. We're gonna do a little cover by one of my favorite musicians, Bay Ledges. It's called Straight Jacket.
Everybody knows that you let me go, and I was really feeling myself. I thought that you were feeling me as well. Yeah. Everybody knows never get past it. Sweet smiles, I don't wanna unwrap it. Got me tied up, unwrap it. Straight jacket, straight jacket. I try, but I never get past it. Fake smiles, I don't wanna unwrap it. Got me tied up, unwrap it. Fake jacket, straight jacket. I look at you go. Got a new attitude and brand new clothes. I'm really happy now. Well, I don't really care, but if so, I wanna know how. I try, but I never get past it. Big smiles, I don't wanna unwrap it. Got me tied up, unwrap it. Straight jacket, jacket. I try, but I never get past it. Fake smiles, I don't wanna unmask it. Got me tied up, unwrap it. Straight jacket, straight jacket. And all those words floating round in my head, I can't keep on straight. And lost track of all the stuff that I said, and too little, too late. Cross my heart, hold it down. Little better luck, oh, I won't have to lie if you tell me what I wanna hear. And all night, do me a favor, my dear, and hold me tight. Been sitting round, I can't stop thinking about, well, all that wasted time. And burning red, making me wanna shout, well, screw walking the line. And cross my heart and hope to down. Little bit of luck, oh, I won't have to lie if you tell me what I wanna hear. And all night, do me a favor, my dear, and hold me
Thanks. We tricked you. You all got fooled.
Do you want to do
right, we're gonna do a couple more, and then we're gonna take like literally a 5-minute break because I forgot to hook up my vocal pedal that I want.
That's so
And then we're
embarrassing.
gonna
I can't
finish
believe
it. I'm
it.
so embarrassed. So yeah, we're gonna do a couple more, and then we're gonna take like a really short break, and then we'll finish out our set. Thanks so much for being here. My name's Liam. I know most of you out there. I really appreciate you coming out here. I got an email list and t-shirts if you want to buy them up there with my awesome girlfriend, Nicola. She's modeling the t-shirt as well. Yeah, we're Surnames. You can follow us at Surnames Music on all across platforms and whatnot. Yeah. So, yeah, and this is Will on the bass. Ipswich born and bred. There he is. I got Jesse behind me on the drums. Christian over there ripping up the guitar. So, yeah, we're really happy to be here. Cool. This one's called Bloom. It's all over the internet if you want to listen, wherever you listen to music. Surnames, Bloom. It's a much different version, but, you know, hey, we've been playing it for a couple years, we're going to mix it up.
Forest in her eyes, and the canvas in my eyes, and I'm studying the hues, warm some of my silver gray ocean blues, and every line I drew was straight away, the flowers running through, and I'm hoping it can bloom, oh, and hoping it can bloom. There's a sadness in her eyes and a longing in my heart, and I'm searching for the words in the pines on the rocks, so I even miss the birds, and every line I spoke, yeah, came out in a mouthful of mess. If I were well, I could put it in a cup on my windowsill. I'm still hoping it might bloom. Oh, hoping it can bloom. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Yeah. Just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Yeah. Won't you stand? Stand by me. Yeah. Stand by me. The sky we look upon should tumble and fall, and the mountains should crumble to the sea. I won't cry, no, no, I won't cry. Just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Whoa, stand by me. You stand by me, stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Take it away, Gershon. Ipswich own Will Kidder on the bass over there. Oh yeah. By me, yeah. Won't you stand by me? Won't you stand? And stand by me, yeah. And stand by me. Whoa. And stand by me. Whoa. Stand by me. And won't you stand? Stand by me. Anyway, we're gonna take a quick 5 and we'll be back on. Thanks for hanging out. 5 sweet goodbyes. When you put me on the Wolverine up to Annandale, it was still September, and your daddy was quite surprised to find you with the working girls in the county jail. I was smoking with the boys upstairs when I heard about the whole affair. I said, oh no, William and Mary won't do. I did not think the girl could be so cruel. Never going back to my old school. Oh, the enders and blowing outside the door. Soon they're gonna be in bloom up in Annandale. And I can't stand her doing what she did before. Like a gypsy queen in a fairy tale. Hate the whistle, but I can't go. I'm gonna take her down to Mexico. And oh no, Guadalajara won't do. I did not think the girl could be so cruel. Never going back to my old school. In California, tumbles into the sea, and that'll be the day I go back to Annandale and try to warn you about Chino and Daddy G, but I can't seem to get to you through the U.S. mail. Hear the whistle, but I can't go. I'm gonna take it down to Mexico. And oh no, Guadalajara won't do. And I did not think the girl could be so cruel. Never going back to my old school. intact for some posterity, heartbreak, sympathy, mutual kinds of teary-eyed tongue into the air. I knew it so clear. Well, on the album mixed up bed in the class. Read the morning paper just to talk out loud. Honey, this bed was made for two, but maybe I wasn't made for you. For you, oh, I'm coming over. Count my steps. It won't be long. It won't be long. Oh, made my mind up. I'm sorry, my love. We don't belong. Don't belong. Oh, yeah. Can sit here and talk until our tongues fall out, bleeding from our mouths like the air that shakes these words. You can whisper or shout, but it's something that's just farewell. On the album mixed up bed in the clouds. Read the morning paper just to talk out loud. Honey, this bed was made for two, but maybe I wasn't made for you. For you, I'm coming over. Count my steps. It won't be long. It won't be long. Oh, made my mind up. Sorry, my love. We don't belong. We don't belong. Maybe you need a new watch, or maybe it's time I fold these old cards where our hands have been stuck for so long. On the album mixed up bed in the clouds. The morning paper just to talk out loud. Honey, this bed was made for two. Maybe I wasn't made for you. For you, I'm coming over. I'll count my steps. It won't be long. It won't be long. Oh, made my mind up. I'm sorry, my love. We don't belong. We don't belong. We don't belong. We don't
Thanks, everybody. That last one was a cover of one of my originals from my other band. Very convoluted. I wrote that song a long time ago. I used to live in Virginia for a while, and I had a band down there. And I love playing that song, so I forced these guys to play it.